How's it going, everyone? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to talk to you about supersets versus giant sets. First things first, we need to define the difference between these two different ways of planning out your workout. So a superset is 2 exercises for either similar or opposing muscle groups, whereas a giant set is 3 exercises grouped together, again, for either similar or opposing muscle groups. Now, with the superset, since it's for either similar or opposing muscle groups, I set up 2 different examples here. Example 1, you're going to superset a barbell row with some preacher curls. So, bang out a set of rows without any rest or anything, go into hitting up a set of curls. Now, the purpose of this is it's going to really put a lot of stress on your biceps in particular in this example, which will help cause more of a hypertrophic effect. In the second example of using opposing muscle groups or antagonistic muscle groups, I have the barbell row again, because let's be real here, who doesn't want a thick back, right? And then the bench press. So with this, they're both essentially this motion. So you start off with the barbell row, get your back fired up, use some biceps in there. Then you go into the bench press, get your chest fired up, use some triceps in there. So that would be a good, like if you're doing an upper-lower split, that would be a good superset to use. Now with giant sets, I set up similar examples, with the third exercise being an ab movement, because me personally, I don't like doing abs. So I really love the giant set format because I can have my 2 ab exercises, then I tack in a little core movement at the end, either focusing on my rectus or my obliques. So in this example, I have 2 different oblique exercises. The first one of using similar muscle groups is just banging out a set of pull-ups and then without any rest going straight into a set of hammer curls. Again, this is going to put a lot of stress on your biceps, help stimulate some of that hypertrophic effect, help you get some gains. Then cap it off with some mason twists, which is just twisting back and forth with either a medicine ball or a weight of some sort, and then rest a little bit, start back at the top, bang it out 3 or 4 times, move on to the next. For the second example that I have for the giant sets, it's the same idea as the second example here, except this time sticking with pull-ups, go from pull-ups to overhead press to cable rotations. In this example, they're both essentially this movement. So, first you start off hitting your lats down here, then you hit the front of your shoulders and your triceps, and then the cable rotations, you just set a cable at about shoulder height, grab onto the handle, and do rotations. Bang out 10 each side, rest for a little bit, start back at the top, run the whole thing 3 or 4 times. Now, I prefer the giant set format because it helps me actually train my core, which is something I often neglect because I'm sort of a mindset slightly I'm squatting heavy, I'm deadlifting heavy, doing the overhead presses and stuff, so I'm already doing a bunch of movements that require your core to be nice and tight. So I end up getting a lot of training stimulus from that. However, it's nice to add a little bit onto that to make sure it's nice and strong. And so with programming for the giant sets, I like doing it that way with 2 different main movements that I'm worried about, throwing the abs in there, and then lather, rinse, repeat that. With the supersets, I use that with clients a lot because the way I generally set up their workouts is bang out whatever movement or muscles we're training that day, and then I finish off their session with several different ab variations. So for my clients, I like using the supersets. Helps you get a lot of work in a short amount of time. With my own personal training, I prefer the giant sets, so that way I don't neglect my core training. Try out both of these if you haven't done them before. Figure out which one you like more. Figure out a good way to implement them that works for you, and enjoy all the gains that you see rolling in. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video, hit the bell button, all the YouTube things, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.